Welcome to the Dad Livin podcast. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. Hosted by four best friends who are dads first and storytellers second. We dive into the real, messy, hilarious side of fatherhood. From diaper disasters to teenage drama, work-life balance to building a legacy, we keep it real, fun, and meaningful. Whether you're a rookie dad or a pro, this is your weekly reminder you're not alone. Grab a drink, kick back, and join the conversation.
Welcome to Dad Livin.
All
right.
Welcome back.
How's everyone doing today?
Energy is up. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Little late night for us, but a good night so far, right? Had some
Monday.
jokes. Oh, yeah.
You
I
got
just
way,
woke up
way
this
too much
morning.
energy.
I know, right?
It's like 10 a.m. for me.
Got to cram it in here. Believe it or not,
God.
we're not full-time podcasters, and we
Yeah.
have lives, busy lives. So
Who'd have
Yeah,
thought?
we got
squeeze it in.
work and all that crazy stuff, right?
Yes,
Squeeze
sir.
it in.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah,
We do what we got to do.
yeah.
That's it.
Nice. I saw your latest flip, which is awesome.
Yeah.
What's
So
that?
well, I think I've talked about it. I do real estate, so
Yeah.
I buy and sell houses and
Yeah.
flip them. So.
Dude, you're awesome at that too. And
That's
you
fun.
cut a little video too, which is awesome.
Well,
I had to give you a shout out on
Check
that.
it out.
Well,
What's the
thanks.
plug, man? What's the name of it?
Freedom Path Investors. If
Yeah.
you were selling a house in the St. Louis area, we buy houses.
It's our podcast, so we can plug whatever the hell we want.
Hell yeah.
Our-
Hell
it-
yeah.
It took us this long to do that.
I know, right?
That's our default sponsor until we get somebody.
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, default.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
is kicking in no money, by the way.
Time. I
Yeah,
guess
time.
I guess your time is a
Time
part of that,
investment.
right?
I
Well, we'll take it. We'll take it. Well, welcome everyone to the episode for Dad Livin. Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. I didn't say that one last time, but
Somebody
yeah,
asked if
we're all over.
Amazon podcast. We got to get on that one.
ooh, let's get on that one.
And drop us a review too, like on those things if
Yeah.
you're enjoying it, because like I don't know how it works because I'm an idiot with electronics, but apparently like the reviews help the algorithm get to other people and stuff. So the more
Yeah.
reviews you get.
We
So if
want
you
to get
like,
this out there to people,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people got to like it and share it and
Yeah.
spread the word. So
if you don't like it, just contact us direct and don't leave me a shitty review, please.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and something I didn't say, we also have a website,
Oh yeah.
dadlivin.com, dadlivin.com, and a lot of cool stuff on there. You'll see some of our characters in illustration form, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Little bios, and also towards the bottom there's a form down there. Any comments, anything you want to see on the show, go ahead and drop us a line, as well as we have a direct hotline now.
I think Mike's
So-
got a link to his OnlyFans account too.
Yeah. You don't even want to know what the title of that page is.
oh, it's
All right. So what are we talking about today,
all right,
Yokes?
Today we're talking about fitness and importance of obviously being fit dads.
Are you into fitness?
I am getting into it. I am making
these
a
tacos in my
commitment.
mouth?
Yeah,
Fit. Nice.
what was it? We're getting ready before, and I had said fitness, and of course Mike with his dirty mind said fitness in my mouth.
Yeah. So we got
Oh, so the dad joke of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there,
there
it
you go.
was.
The dirty.
There it was.
the dirty
Yeah.
dad joke of the day.
Wow.
Ooh, that could be a good fun segment.
There we
That might-
go.
that's actually a
Yes.
good idea.
Yes, line
Could
it
do
up.
Dad joke of the day and dirty dad joke of the day.
Yeah,
I
I
will
know,
take
right?
the lead on the dirty joke.
Right?
My wife,
That'll
is-
be.
she's shaking her head right now, just like, oh my gosh.
We're gonna have to mark that explicit across
Yeah.
every channel. Like, yeah,
Well, we're not here for the kids. We're here for the dads.
for you all.
That's right.
Absolutely, and the moms and the parents, and really whoever's listening to us. Hopefully, as you listen to Mike, 18 plus. How about that?
but mostly for the dads. So,
Mostly
yeah.
for the dads, of course. So today we're gonna go over fitness stuff. I mean, it's so important for dads to be fit, and I think a lot of people, like myself, like I struggle in that realm. So it's good for me to talk about it. I'm reading a lot of books around it. I'm trying to motivate myself to get up. Obviously, I'm in a situation, I hate using excuses, where a lot of my time's spent with that. So I'm trying to break the mold. Like the other day, I think we were getting on a show where I was having a tough time. The kids were already up. I just told him, hey, I'm going to go downstairs and work out. I have a nice little gym down there with like a rower, some of those adjustable dumbbells and everything. So I think it's important for us as dads to make sure that we're not creating those excuses and really, having that why behind it. You got to have that solid why. For me, it's about just that confidence level. I think I lack confidence like a lot of people out there around my physique. I always have. I'm comfortable in it, but I'm also like, hey, that could be better.
Well, I think for a long time, the dad bod moniker became acceptable and kind of celebrated. No, we're just the fun, fluffy dad, and I would like to see that kind of go away. I think it was not a good thing for men in society. So,
Yeah, I agree.
hopefully, we can crush some of the stigmas around that.
Agree. But before we get into that, we have a new segment today. Super Dad of the Week.
New
And with that,
Sponsored by Insert Your Business Here.
yeah, hey, could happen. And today it's his freedom path.
Yeah. Investments. There you go.
Free Path Investor. So I thought this would be a fun segment to kind of just highlight some cool stories that you see in the news, some unsung heroes in the dad space. So I wanted to talk about the Philadelphia Karen.
Oh, gosh.
We've all seen it. We've all heard about her. So if you are living under a rock and you haven't seen the news lately, there's a big viral moment on the internet that's gone wild. Marlins versus Phillies baseball game in Miami, home run ball to left field. And this dad runs over, grabs it. If you've been to a baseball game, fly home run ball in the stands and the bleachers, it's a free for all.
Who gets to it first?
Yeah.
Now, if you rip it out of somebody's hands, that's not
Yeah.
cool. So dad wins the ball, runs it back over.
Not just wins it, he clearly won it. There was
nobody
even
really in the
close
stand.
to it.
Yeah.
Excited for his son,
Yeah.
hug.
I mean, the replay shows it. Like she wasn't even close. Whatever. Runs it back over to his son. Apparently, they were there to celebrate his 10th birthday or something. And if there's a picture of a Karen in a dictionary, this lady would be it.
Yeah.
And I think the dad's not being talked about enough. I think his name's Andrew, I found out. But he handled it so much better than I think I would have. He was just kept calm and cool and said, hey, you obviously need this ball more than I do.
Yeah.
And he was rewarded for, the teams showered them with gifts.
Mhm.
And I think
both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Harrison Bader for that, man. That was so
Former Cardinal.
freaking cool. Of course, I did like that little moment when she came up behind him and he kind of did had the fisticuffs going. I was like, whoa.
That was fight or flight right there.
I know,
It
right?
definitely was. What's happening?
That was cool.
But I thought it was a really cool moment and just a good example of how to stay calm in the moment and be a good example for his son too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have probably escalated and
because if he would have laid like an elbow or something there, it would have been all about him doing that, not about her acting completely atrocious.
Yeah.
So, and she honestly deserved an elbow to the face, to be completely honest. That was ridiculous.
So
Just
cheers
behavior of
to
people.
Andrew from
Andrew.
Philly for
Cheers.
defeating
Good job.
the final boss Karen.
Yeah, leading by example. We love
Final
it.
boss. So true.
Boss Karen. I mean, like you said, that's such a cool story and situation. And when I first saw it, I'm like, what happened? What's going on? And I mean, if you're that lady, I think now she's like fired from her job.
Karma got her.
And there's so many different things that went on. Did you see the video? I think it was another fan after this whole thing went
It
down
kept going on.
of her nagging another fan for
flipping off
something
everybody
else. And
That's her MO, dude.
What?
That's just what she does.
God.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
sure.
at
I'm
that
sure
point-
her company was looking for a reason to get rid
another
of her.
thing
She
I
was like
noticed-
HR's nightmare.
Yeah,
I'm
what is
sure.
HR's
They were like,
take on that?
finally,
got something.
we got it.
But if you guys noticed too, I don't know if it was her husband or significant other that was sitting with her is just sitting there with his sitting on his hands, probably a dusty dad.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been neutered already by her just because he's terrified of her.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be.
Dude.
So, it's still new for you guys. I deal with these types of people all the damn time. So but I'm glad you guys get to see it.
I can imagine. Yeah. Can
Oh.
imagine.
You-
So
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good story.
That was a good one.
Super
Yeah.
dad.
Super dad.
Yeah,
Super dad.
I agree. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
acted in that way.
No,
So it's
right.
good to see people out there, and it gives you something to aspire to if you find yourself in those types of situations. So.
Yeah, so if you're watching, if you know any cool super dad stories, drop them on the comments, and maybe we'll highlight it on the show on the next one.
Yeah, I like that segment. That segment's sticking. I love it.
Cool.
So
Keep
Great.
going.
awesome,
Good idea.
awesome. So now going into the fitness, side of things, I think ultimately, and right now, you guys know I'm a big Tim McGraw fan, and
No way.
When
you
did
all
this
will find
happen?
out, and I pull a lot of music into this because I love music, much like us all. Besides Mike here, he's still living in the old school world, but
Don't hate me.
He likes Pink Pony
Metallica,
Club.
I do
Breaking
like
Benjamin, and
That's, and then what is
Pink-
it?
Pink Pony
The
Club.
demon hunter thing.
Well,
That's some
I
catchy
learned the other
ass
day that
music.
you appreciate K-pop. So,
K-pop's
there
not
we go.
bad. I'm
K-pop
not
too.
saying it's bad.
Yeah,
It'll
I know.
get your fingers.
I know. It'll get your body moving, right? That's the whole
Tangent.
goal of it.
All right.
But one of the things that like I've idolized him for a while, and he went through a phase where he drank a lot, gained a lot of weight, and there was a point in like 2008 where he kind of got big into fitness, and it changed his life, both mentally and physically. So he created this book, Grit and Grace, which is a great book. I've read it a couple times already, and each time I read it, it just motivates me even more. So, and I think this time I'm trying to create a routine. I'm trying to mentally get there where I think he says a point in the book which we all can relate to, where the bed's so warm, and yeah, getting up and running outside in the cold weather is not fun, or going out to the gym is not fun, but you have to overcome that. You have to just make it a habit, and have that discipline to help guide you. So that was something cool as I was looking at it. But I mean, just hearing his story about how he was able to connect, um, uh, more spiritually with his kids through him working out, and just bringing that energy to his family was just incredible. Because you would look at someone like that as having just a picturesque life, an awesome wife, 3 awesome kids. And to hear that kind of impact, I'm like, wow, like that's incredible. So, and he was obviously able to tell a story. So I wanted to create this segment to, I think everyone's aware. I think everyone out
They all
there
know
is
it's good for
aware
them.
of it.
Yeah.
But I think also too, it's like, all right, well, why aren't we doing anything
I
about
think,
it?
yeah, you're
Get
trying.
up and going.
Yeah, I think, and then you add kids, family, work, and your priorities
First thing to
are trying
go.
to. Yeah, it's very easy to drop that off. So I think you hit on it best, is you've got to build it into a routine, and you have to be disciplined. I think, I forget what the number is, but they say anything, it's like 20 something times is when it becomes habit, and that's what you have to get to in order to stick with something. For myself, talking about fitness, I think I struggled young. I was, I guess you could say, body shamed, if that was a thing back then, boys in the locker room. So fitness has always been a thing for me since that point of trying to maintain a physique and do something about that. So there's a little side history there. But for me, I've realized as I've had kids, and that for me, it provides mental clarity. And I'm the guy that gets up at 5 a.m. I get my workout routine in, shower, get ready, then I'm there to get the kids up, head into work, and kind of start my day. But for me, it's like it's not only I know that I'm doing something good for my body, but it gives me mental clarity. I think about the day, what do I need to get done, and it kind of lets me lay out everything that I need to do. And for me, it's a great sense of accomplishment. It's so great to be able to start your day and say, all right, I've gotten that big thing done, and it kind of just puts you on that right step forward as you kind of progress through your day. So it takes time, it takes dedication. It's difficult. I mean, I hear you, the warm bed, Tim McGraw. I would love to do that most times, but I've realized that when I don't work out in the morning throughout the day, I have guilt myself for not getting up and working
That's
out. So
awesome.
that's how I know I've built that routine. And I'm not saying I'm in the best shape ever, but I know I'm doing something good, so that when I have an extra drink or eat some Doritos or who knows, whatever it is, I don't feel as guilty about it as I should.
Yeah. No,
So
and that, I think that's a cool part about it, is the fact that like you're doing it for, actually indulging and doing some of those things, rightfully so. I mean, a lot of people do that. I knew someone that was, you would probably meet, and this is way back, like someone I used to work with, who was would work out 2 times during the week, like each day. Obviously, that's a little bit freak of nature, but then he did it for the weekends just to have fun. I'm like, hey, a lot of people do it like that.
Yeah,
So,
and the other thing that's neat is then you tie that to your kids is, sometimes on the weekends I'll work out later in the morning and Lincoln or Charlotte will come down and they'll watch me doing it. And then they try to do some of the routines with me, push-ups, things like that.
Yep.
And that just makes it even neater as kind of a bonding experience.
Right.
It's something that they're learning on how to take care of yourself. One of the things, my kids are big into the Hulk and Hulk smash and muscles. And so they're always like, Dad, your muscles are big. Well, of course, my muscles are big compared to a 6-year-old, right? Great. But they're always like, how does that happen? How do you get big muscles? And we talk about, well, you got to eat your proteins and you got to work out and you got to do this. So it also gives you an opportunity to connect with your kids in a different way, while teaching them something good to do for themselves, when they get to that point. So
I think everything you said there, that's like an extra layer of motivation. And as a father, I think should be for anybody. Like, you are trying to lead by example and set the tone for your kids. And like, I'm not saying my 6 and 8-year-old should be training bodybuilding yet, but just ingrain in them, like, this is an important part of life and you should be taking care of your body and, worried about what putting in and how exercising is important. So,
At some point I heard in life, it's like, you can invest in all these different things. Why do you not invest in yourself? You're given one body, one body. That should be your biggest investment that you ever make.
Yeah.
And that's something that's kind of stuck with me, is continue to do these little things. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be short amounts of time here or there, but as long as you're investing in yourself, it's going to give you a return in the long run.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like, I think for a lot of dads out there, I was reading a lot of stuff to get ready for this, and one of the biggest things was, the self-sacrifice dads kind of give. They give to other people, but one of the biggest points was, as men, we have, obviously a lower age expectancy than women, and we're not taking care of ourselves. And obviously there's external factors. There's a lot of other things, disease and everything that come into play from a hereditary standpoint. But ultimately it's one of those that, like, self-care, like, that's so big and so important. And that's really what's driven me, is I'll give every minute of every day to either my work or my kiddos, or, I mean, pets, whatever it may be. Like, I'm done with the excuses on that. And
It's good.
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I like this conversation too, because, like, we're just regular dads. We're not, Division I athletes or nothing. I mean, we all played sports growing up. Mike, you had the
Division I
furthest
athlete.
athletic career playing hockey in college, but we all played sports. I mean, I've gone through phases of working out and not working out, and I think gym culture today has gotten so out of control, where there's all these online influencers where making it look like if you're a failure if you don't have a 6-pack, or
Right.
are just having this crazy physique where hey, if you're 20 and you don't have a job and all you're doing is working out and making TikTok videos, like, cool, dude, but like,
Pretty easy to get that type of body when you got all the time in the world.
Yeah. Right.
But,
And that was, I think, one of the things we talked about in our first episode, is just, there's a lot of unrealistic expectations out there for, especially I want to say the 9 to 5 crew, but that could be the 6 to 3, the overnight, like, there's just a lot of different factors, but that's so unrealistic. So we want to bring kind of that real edge to it as well.
well, just accepting where you're at and your fitness path. If you want to run a marathon and you haven't been running, you're not going to go run the 23 miles tomorrow. Like, you got to build up to it.
It's 23
It's
miles.
20,
Holy
20 I
shit.
think it's 26.
26, yeah.
Shit.
26 point something.
You'll
Yeah.
never see me
Wow.
doing that.
Not a runner.
Just me personally today, accepting that I'm pushing 40, and I went into the gym and did some deadlifts and didn't warm up enough, and I tweaked my back pretty bad, and I got a lot of icy hot on it right now.
What'd you tell us right before you said that? What'd you read
Oh,
last
God.
night?
So I saw a YouTube video pop up. I watched, and it said things to not do in the gym past your 40s, and it's pretty much all the major compound lifts that you have to do, but like deadlifts is on there.
Deadlift's got to be number one for injuries,
know.
man.
Johnny
it's so
just
easy
thought,
to screw
I'm
'em
not
up.
40 yet. I'm good.
Yeah.
I can go ahead and do this.
39. Kiss my
So
ass.
yeah, I overdid it a little bit. Maybe I need to change that up a little bit. And I'm not an ego lifter by any means, but I just need to be a little smarter about it, I guess. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. You're in there. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're hurt. Now you're gonna be out of commission.
You're gonna be
for
out for a
couple
little
days.
bit.
But it's good.
Gonna drive me crazy too. So just hang in there.
Yeah.
Hang in there. But take care of yourself. Don't push it because you don't need to be in a worse spot
So
later.
I had a little scare at the gym. It was almost 2 months ago. I was doing a leg workout and I got done and I was finishing with some ab exercises. And basically I blacked out in the gym. And I don't know. I'm like, what the heck happened here? I'm getting old. Like, I think what happened was like I pinched a nerve somewhere, and I had these not contractions, but spasms so bad where like I just all the blood rushed out of my head, and I woke up on the bathroom floor in the gym.
we talked about that. That's scary.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. We talked about that on the side, not on the podcast. Yeah. You got to look for those signs. That's your body telling you something, or
either telling me I was overdoing it,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm just getting old and I bent the wrong way. I don't know.
Golly.
What's it like being at I haven't gone to a public gym in a long time. Like we have a gym at work. So what's it like now? It seems horrible what you see on social media with these people like recording themselves.
Oh God, that
just,
gets out of hand, dude.
is it that many people doing it?
A lot of them.
What are they recording for? Like, what is they?
Like I said, the whole bro influencer crowd, like everybody's like trying to be a fitness influencer online.
People watch that?
Guess so.
Man, I just don't get it.
not to scare anybody out from
Crazy,
fitness,
right?
find your way, but
No, I guess if you're getting something out of it, but it just seems like there's so many people doing it. It's like,
have you guys ever heard of Joey Swole?
yeah, that's the guy that I always
he's the guy
see.
who calls out all the people doing
yeah.
that and shit. But I don't know. I go to commercial gym. There's a new one that opened up at my house, Crunch Fitness, and it's humongous. So like it's pretty spread out. You don't notice that much of that stuff anymore. But at the last one I was at, Club Fitness, if I was there working out late at night, it'd be like the high school crowd. And like I remember one night there was a full on like wrestling match in the middle of the turf area, you know. I'm just like, dude, get me out of here. Or there's like 10 people on one bench, just like, oh my God.
the good thing nowadays, though, like if you don't want to put yourself in that situation, there's so many different tools you can use, AI to create you a workout. I know I personally use Apple Fitness. I find a 30-minute strength video every morning to do. Yeah. So there's so many different ways that you can customize it just to do it at your home. You can go to a broader gym. You can find what works for you. I feel like it's easier than it ever was.
Yeah.
On how to build a routine and what to do for yourself.
And that's true. That was something I was looking into. Obviously, like personal trainers cost money, and that's something where they hold you accountable because you can't back out as much as you should, or you can in that case. But that's a good avenue, and I think there's a lot of like fitness programs, like what's the major magazine, like Men's Fitness. They have a lot of cool like dumbbell things that I've researched. So I've created my own little workout. I
tell you what, dude, let me touch on that for a minute. So like 5 years ago, I went and started working out with a trainer. It was the best investment I made in fitness. Like I would recommend it to anybody. Like at that point, like I was struggling. COVID, my gym shut down like the second week in. And like I was going there for a couple of years. I was really starting to make some progress and it shut down. And like, oh man. So I was trying to do some stuff at home. I got some kettlebells and resistance bands, and it's like, man, I'm not getting anything out of this. I went to that trainer and like I just realized like I was doing everything wrong, like I couldn't do a deadlift or a squat without hurting my back at all.
Yep.
But the accountability, like you're paying the guy good money, like you're gonna show up,
Right.
So like I had a lot of early 5 a.m. workouts I worked with him for a long time, and it's forcing me to be up at 5 a.m., get there, and just if you're struggling, like you're going to the gym, you're not quite sure what to do, or you're just kind of, I'm gonna go pick up this and go try that. Like now when I go, like I know exactly what I'm there to do. I got it built out in my head already. I'm going to do 5 or 6 exercises. I'm going to end with this. Like, there's a purpose, you know?
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that's good. And I've actually reached out and looked at a couple of those. Like right now in the morning, I can't do that. So I looked up some alternatives for busy dads, and there's a guy out there, Corey G, that talks about these different things. He has a 22-minute and a 30-minute workout, which I started doing that. And it's fantastic because it's like dumbbells, exactly what I have, a bench and dumbbells, which I know not a lot of people have. You may have like basic equipment, but I found it to be fantastic so far. It's a good workout when whatever you're working out the next day, you're like, wow, like feel it, feels good. And that happened in 22 minutes. Like you're getting up and moving, regardless if it's 5 minutes or
It
an
doesn't need to be
hour.
2 hours.
It doesn't have to be. And that's the thing. Like we're all normal.
You're not working your ass. I just want to get in, work my ass off for 30 minutes and like nonstop, just get it done.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
I don't take breaks. I just keep it going.
Well, and you said you have in a 12-hour shift, they typically give you an hour, correct?
Yeah, I give you an hour, but we try not to abuse that. So that includes getting out of uniform and back into uniform too, or if you're going to shower. So I subscribe to the Beachbody, which is similar to the Apple Fitness thing. I think it's great, whatever it costs. But they got just a plethora of workouts you can do. It's always something fresh and new. And so I'll just pick one of those. They're usually between, 25 and 40 minutes, depending on whatever one I'm doing. And I like the ones that are like just supersets, get in. If you're taking a break, it's like 15, 20 seconds. Keep going, and just get done. I don't like spending a lot of time doing it because it feels like a waste of time just sitting there and waiting to do the next set or whatever. And I'm not a fitness expert by any stretch. It's just how I personally feel about it. So.
I try to work out with my wife, and like I'm trying to get her into lifting weights more.
Yeah.
And the couple times she's gone with me, like, I'm like, all right, just follow me. I got a routine, I'm gonna do it, do a set, you do a set. And like she gets antsy, she'll go jump on the treadmill. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no. She's like, well, I gotta keep moving and sweat. Like, no, we're here to lift weights.
She's got her own way of doing it, but
I know, right?
You got to find out what works for you. Like I used to do a lot of those HIIT workouts. In my 20s, like I was a runner, and I'd go to the gym every now and then to lift, but like running was my exercise. And like you, Brian, like I grew up, I was always thinner and scrawny, and I have a freakish metabolism, so keeping weight on for me is really hard. So I finally just realized with that, like I'm burning so many calories going on these long distance runs, and my knees were always hurting, my hips were always hurting, but the past 5 years, I've gotten more consistent with weight training, and like I don't wake up aching anymore in my knees, and like I don't, I highly recommend, like, any man needs to be lifting weights.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Like as we get older, we're all pushing 40. Like we are losing bone density. We're losing muscle mass, like not at a high rate right now, but I'm thinking more longevity. Like I'm doing this now for when I'm 50. So I'm not having all these problems start cropping up.
Makes sense.
Investing in yourself for the future.
Yeah, right? Man, I want to be an active, dad for my kids when they're older and for grandkids. Like if I make it to 80 plus, like I want to be active. I want to be out there playing golf still, like my biggest motivation is my grandpa, if you see this, I love you. But he's had a lot of health problems. He was more overweight for most I can remember, and he's doesn't have the best quality of life now. And like I don't want to be like that when I'm older.
Yeah. No, and I think that's important. I honestly do. And I had my dad, who's actually put my kids down again. Shout out to Papa Nick. Golly. He had a physical job, so he never worked out. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have physical jobs, which is great. But I think it's still important to bring that home to your kids. He didn't have to because he was always fit. So it was always hard for me in the sports realm to get motivated to, the only time I did it was football. I think everyone's doing football, and I was very competitive. I'm still very competitive, where this guy's benching 200. Damn straight, I'm going to bench 200. I'm going to bench 210. So, that was the fittest I've ever been because I was forced to. You had 2-a-days, you lifted before and after. you focused on it. And, that was my routine. And I had it through high school. I was pretty consistent. Same thing like with you guys. And, then college had started to kind of die off as sports started to dwindle. You led into drinking a little bit more. Yeah, partying. It was
all
like,
the parties.
hey, I want to work on this and this. And then you don't realize when kids, like they say dad bod for a reason, because your time is, now cut, like how much personal time you have. And you got to really work towards that of, not only, giving to your family, giving to your job, giving to your friends, right? I mean, all important aspects that make up, our lives. But it's given back to yourself, like we talked about originally. So, and there's so many benefits to it as well. Like, as I was looking at it, not only did we talk about like improving your energy levels, setting a positive example for your kids, there's studies that show not only here and now that kids are more physically fit and less overweight, but then fast forward to when they're older, they develop those habits. They see you and you're their role model. So if you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips and watching TV all day, guess what your kids are going to do?
Well, that breaks my heart when you see a family where it's everybody's overweight.
Everybody's
You look at
overweight.
the parents and look at the kids, and it's
The kid's 8 and they're 50 pounds overweight
Right?
already.
Yeah,
It's like,
I know,
damn,
it's,
that sucks.
And you know what type of life they're going to live. And it's like, everyone can live their own life. That's the awesome thing about being a human being is you can live your own
being in
life.
America,
Yeah.
I mean,
But
having that choice, you should like stop and look at yourself and say, hold on, time out. Like, is this the life I want to live? Is this, the role model I want to be for my kids? And if it is yes, then okay, like so be it. But it's not mine by any means. Like I am active with my kids. I'm really active with my kids. I get on the ice with my son and play ice hockey. I'm kicking the soccer ball around with my daughter, going through it. It's just I'm not like the workout dad right now, which I want to and I want to be. Like to your point, like so your kids come down. Like that was cool on what was that Sunday morning where it was just like I need to change my mindset, so I'm gonna work out. And guess what my kids started doing? They started coming around. Of course, they were trying to pick up like a 40-pound weight.
oh yeah,
But
then they
like,
think
don't
you're
drop
like
that on your feet.
Yeah.
superhuman, and they're like, wow,
Right. And I
it's
moved
so
it down
cool.
to 5.
Yeah.
And yes, the workout took like an hour, but it was a Sunday morning. It was fun. So
I think playing around with different kind of programs and figuring out like, okay, I've got a busier week. What can I plan into my routine where like I've only got 3 days I can work out in the gym this week, or like I only got like right now I try to do at least 3 to 5 days in hour sessions. But if I'm pressed for time, I got to cut it down to 30. Like I got another routine where okay, I can superset some stuff or just get more work in a short time. So I think developing that with the trainer I worked with, there's so much on YouTube. Like one guy I follow, Dr. Mike Israel. If you guys heard of him,
yeah.
RP Strength is his channel. Dude, I mean, you could just all these guys can just these routines for free, just follow them, try to mimic some stuff. But yeah, I mean, for you, Doug, like you said, trying to carve out that time. You just have to make it a priority where it's just a non-negotiable. Where like, okay, I mean, even if it's not every day, try to do something every day. I don't want to lift every day. I don't like to run anymore either, but I do want to go out and try to get a walk in, or
I walk a lot now. Yeah,
or
I
do
can't run
some
either.
other cardio. One thing I love doing is sauna. It's not really direct exercise, but like after I lift weights, I'll go sit in the sauna for 20 minutes, and like that prolongs your cardiovascular too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of benefits for that. So.
Yeah. No, that's good stuff. Yeah. Well, and even too something. Go back to Tim McGraw. I think he had a good point where, even when you're working out the stress, you're working out the cortisol levels. Which I mean, I think we all had. You had a tough day. I had a tough day. You had a good day. I mean,
I didn't get
probably tough.
Yeah,
right?
no, I didn't get my workout this morning. I didn't get much sleep last night, but I found time before I went to go pick up the kids today, and
Love it.
was probably rushing it and hurt my back.
There we go. And you're obviously, getting ready for Mexico. Lucky,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
but getting it in.
yeah.
right?
That's actually my wife said that. She's like, we should get out and exercise in the morning while we're in Mexico. I was like, yeah, okay.
I say that every
I know,
vacation
every
I
time.
ever go
And you
on,
might
and
do
I
it
never
once.
make it. Yeah.
And then it's like, No, I'm just
No.
gonna crack a beer at 8 a.m.
Dude, pump some iron, get some of that oil on you.
Dude, like I would love to do that, but again, like you're staying out late, drinking or having a good time or whatever, and then like you get up and you're like, oh, there's beers in the fridge, like ready to go. Like it's hard to like skip all that and like, okay, I'm gonna walk down to the gym at the resort.
Yeah. So you're on a different level. Obviously, you have your
I do it here, so maybe
vacation.
on vacation I skip a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
gotta
So
let that
I'm
go.
pretty good about it here.
Yeah,
So.
but
I mean, if you can have a workout partner, that's another great thing too.
Yeah,
Like some of the best shape I've ever gotten in was like when you were my workout partner. You were a great workout partner to have. I remember our senior year, we were getting ready for spring break and trying to get in shape, and it was all right. We're coming over to Brian's house. We're doing his dad's Bowflex, and we're doing the mom's 7-minute abs video.
Oh yeah, we were doing it all down there in the basement.
Yeah,
That's
man, we
right.
got ripped,
I remember all that. Yeah, that Bowflex worked pretty
That
good.
thing was sweet. My parents had one of them too.
Yeah.
oh my
Remember
god,
when we were going to that gym off Telegraph? We were like taking a bunch of Jack 3D. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Way too many pre-workouts. It was
Dude.
good
You
times
guys
though.
ever
But
take
you know,
that
that was
back in the day?
fun experiences.
It was like Jack 3D. It was like that pre-workout
Yeah.
with the black label on it where
It
did
was
any of
loaded
that.
with
This-
caffeine and
Yeah.
make your body like tingle and
this
you
will
just
kill you. Yeah,
rage.
dude.
Yeah.
I've never done the pre-workout stuff
you could go
ever.
run through a wall.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
you
I think
could.
that's probably one of
Dude.
the things that kicks me. I still do a pre-workout in the morning and it's got
Yeah.
quite a bit of caffeine
That's
in it,
true.
but it's like 5 hours of I don't know how much caffeine's in it, honestly, but it gets you going. And it just, I don't know, it just gets my mindset right. But I need
That's
an
awesome.
extra boost in the morning, and whatever's working's working now. But hopefully there's not long-term effects from some of
I
that
should look
stuff.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do pre-workouts, or at least I'll get some caffeine in me before I go in the morning. And I get okay. If you guys could have like your perfect routine every day, what would that look like? Like work's not an excuse.
Mhm.
Kids aren't an excuse. Like if I could just do this exercise routine every day, what would that look like?
My routines change. So right now I'm a big proponent of like the Beach Body or Apple Fitness. I like finding something different every workout. So what I try to do is like a total body, a lower body, a total body, an upper body, a total body.
Yeah.
And so I just find those 30 minutes and I just flip through them. So I like different workouts. So I'm not like tracking or building towards something, but I like having variety. So for me, that's that workout. Outside of that, I don't know what I would do with my life without work and kids. That's retirement is what I'm told. And that's when most people are like, I have no idea what to do now.
Yeah.
So that's a
Go ask
tough
my
question,
dad,
but
right?
yeah.
Well, I say that because like just treat it like that. Like this is just part of life. Like this happens every day, no matter what. You know, like yeah, stuff's gonna come up, but like
That's for me why I've had to do that. Wake up early and do it in the morning because there's too many things that impact your day that you don't always have control over, and so making sure that I wake up and do it first thing guarantees that I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true.
It's tough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Megan works out. She does it later in the day, which works good for her. But there's mornings she's like, "You're getting up," and I'm like, "I'm getting up. Like, this is what I got to do."
Yeah.
And it works for me.
Love
But
it.
you got to figure out what's best for you because otherwise it's going to be really tough to build a habit and be disciplined enough to do it. And it takes time. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Not easy at all.
See, I haven't overcame the leg day stuff. That's always haunted me. And even when I was younger, like the burn, like, hey man, you did a good workout. You got that burn the next day. But when you can't walk upstairs, it's like, why the hell am I doing this?
I love that feeling.
It became something that I strive for. I agree to it.
I like it when I can't walk right.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah.
A good leg day. Yeah.
Well,
or you try to sit on the toilet and you can't get up. You're like, that's a good one.
Well, and that's what Tim McGraw book. That's what he says in there. It's like the reward of a good workout. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. See, all day I can do chest and arms. I love that. If I can be like the Hulk, I probably would. But
then you have scrawny little legs.
scrawny little legs, yeah.
Somebody was just debating this with me the other weekend. It's like, I'll never do legs again. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's your biggest muscles.
Right.
They propel you everywhere, every day.
They are your power generators.
Well, like I brought up just longevity's sake. Like, I saw this post. It was a picture of it was a scan of a leg, a somebody in their 60s or something, and like one was a scan of somebody that did resistance training regular, and then the other one was not, and the bone on the one that exercised was good and healthy, and the non-exercising one was like that.
Yeah.
So that's when, like, when we get older,
Yeah.
you fall and break a hip,
Yeah.
and so
Don't want to break a hip.
lift weights, dudes.
Took
That's
my grandma
that's
out.
it.
Lift weights,
so-
yeah.
Mm.
Lift weights. So, I think the important thing today, like I've learned a lot from you guys, and for you out there, hopefully you learn a lot, like just getting that routine, getting that habit in, and just, having that mentality of not quitting, like making it a habit, ingraining it in, and just getting up and doing it.
Just
like,
do something,
like
anything.
anything. Yeah,
Anything.
walk like that.
Walk-
that,
yeah.
that was a good example. Like
Yeah.
walking just fuels it, and if you have some hilly subdivisions, take your kiddo out. That was always fun. We did it during COVID, but you pushed the stroller up, and when we got a wagon, you'd push too. And when you got up that hill, man, you'd feel the burn. So
walking is
that's helping.
extraordinarily beneficial, even just walking, because you're just moving and keeping everything lubed up.
And you can make it more difficult if you want. Put on a weighted vest or go walk some hills.
Dude, everyone has weighted vests now.
Yeah.
Everyone.
They
That
work,
is
dude. I've
something.
used
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I will add into the discipline part. I did the 75 hard challenge a couple times. You guys ever try it?
Yeah.
Or heard of it?
Did not heard of it. Never tried it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty rigid program, but if you want to really change your life, add in some discipline, kind of go to the extreme, I would highly recommend it. I was probably not a fun person to be around, but it's just all about creating habits. And so the program is 2 45-minute workouts a day. One's got to be outside, and then you're supposed to read 10 pages a day, drink a gallon of water, no alcohol or marijuana, and then you got to stick to a diet program. I think that's everything for 75 days straight. And then you're supposed to, if you miss anything one day, you're supposed to start over again. So I did that once when I was starting to work with that trainer, and then I did it a couple years later to train for I did the Tough Mudder race. It was like the hardest physically thing I've ever done. But man, if you really want to jumpstart, I probably not right now, but I'm doing solo dad.
Yeah, no, not the solo dad time, but yeah, no, that might be a little thing I bring up because that sounds good.
I think none of us should do that while we're doing this podcast because it might get dull.
I've worked out,
no drinking.
I worked out, and I
thought
drank
that would
gallon
be
of
the
water,
hardest
and I have to go
part.
pee.
Like before that, I don't think I'd ever given up alcohol for that long, like in my adult life. And I didn't miss it as much. Like when you're that active, you don't feel like you want
Yeah,
it.
No, for sure.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I think that's a good point. I think that's like there's different programs out there to fit your lifestyle and fit your needs, and I mean, yeah, no, I think that's awesome. So, well, hopefully you enjoyed this show. So
Let's just remind our viewers, for those with significant others, not to forget about that dad joke.
all right,
I had to
Yeah,
one more time.
You had to one more time. I love it.
You're welcome. All right.
Don't forget, if you want more of those awesome jokes or some good listening, to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, as well as hit the subscribe button on YouTube right now. Apple Podcast soon. Oh, I should want to go to Spotify. Soon to be Amazon Podcast. We'll get that up and going for all you.
I didn't even know Amazon had a podcast.
I didn't realize either, but
Yeah.
good to know. So
People want
we'll double check everything. Visit dadlivin.com and fill out the form or give us a call on anything that you want to see or hear or feedback, whatever. So we'd love to hear from you.
Somebody say something.
Sounds good.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
Good stuff.
See
Take care.
y'all.
Good night.
All right.
See ya.